Now, Governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, has been making the news since last week, saying federal character is hampering Nigeria's development. And he was speaking during a ceremony in the Oyo State capital, Ibadan, to honor late Professor Ojetunji Aboyade. Joining us now is politician Uche Azotani in the studio to talk about this. Many thanks, Uche, for joining us on TVC News once again. What do you make of this argument from the Kaduna State governor on the irrelevance, so to speak, of the federal character?
I think what he said was a fact. But I want to say that, you know, federal character hampering the development and the progress of our nation building. It transcends that federal character. Because, you know, those who, you know, the proponents of that particular constitution of federal character, the draft constitution, they had something good in mind before recommending it. But instead of federal character now achieving the result they had in mind, it went further to widen the problems already on ground. Our problem is not just federal character. It started from the onset. It's a historical and the geographical problem. The structures that are supposed to carry all those things were already bad. We had the problem of ethnic politics, ethnic sentiment. And for them now thinking that introducing federal character will now help us to live as one homogeneous society. It didn't work because the federal character went further to disintegrate that we cannot be that homogeneous. Because now state by state, you have to bring your own quota. You have to place your own quota, which now, you know, undermines, you know, that oneness and unity that federal character is supposed to have achieved.
All right. Now, El-Rufai asked the question, just as you rightly mentioned earlier, that those who had that in mind apparently had something good in mind. But it went further to ask the question, how can we ensure that federal character does not become enemy of merit and quality of appointment?
You know, when I saw that question, to me, it's like as if the person is just waking up from slumber, because this problem has been there. Asking the question now, if federal character is going to hamper the development, it's been hampering right from the onset.
So he asserted that it is hampering national development, but then he's looking up to analysts or politicians like you, hoping for a better Nigeria now. That's another arm now to the question Ike was asking. How do we ensure that it plays according to script? No one feels marginalized despite this.
To me, from my own understanding of the Nigerian history, we must go back to the basis. Why are people clamoring for restructuring? It's because the problems are there. You know, what kills the leaf lives in the leaf. And until we go back to the basis and then how to deal with those things that brought about the federal character thing, which the federal character could not give us the solution to. So the only truth we will tell ourselves is to go back to true federalism. We go to true federalism, where the center have to be, you know, the power has to be reduced and let power goes to the region.
All right, but what does it really say of our leaders? Because what you were saying at the moment, the cry for true federalism, it's not a new one. Even Chief Obafemi Awolowo said it, that the only way for Nigeria to grow economically and develop better is if we had true federalism. And now, more than 30 years or so after his death, we're going back to what he said. What does that say of the sort of leadership in terms of vision of where Nigeria should be? And of course, El-Rufai made mention of that as well.
Yeah, in terms of vision, he made mention of it that Nigeria, we don't have development plan that is sustainable. Saying that, he's right, actually. But how can we have such elongated plan when you know that our structure is so much distorted here and there?
Okay.
Then the way, you know, people come to power, maybe you have 4 years chance to lead, or peradventure 8 years to lead. Another person is warming up to come in to take over. What is their agenda? The person coming in, what is the perspective? Is there any particular thing that is already laid down?
Just like they are already talking about 2019 when we are in 2017.
Yes. So you find out at the end of the day, when that power comes in again, they will abandon the already ongoing plan and they will carry on another one,
but
losing focus.
All right, but then apologies if I interrupted, but then I also want you to talk about this lingering debate on restructuring. Suddenly, restructuring that used to have different definitions, now many people are now suddenly concluding that the best definition of restructuring is to devolve the country into regions. Now, and let's not forget that Nasir El-Rufai is the head of the Committee on Restructuring in the governing party, APC. Do you see him with what he is now suggesting now? Do we see an eventual conclusion towards that, what you've already given your demand for?
I don't know about that. But one thing I'm sure is that some people are afraid of restructuring. They don't want to face the facts.
Okay.
In his speech, he made mention of China, India, you know, the way they've been progressive. Those countries are far more homogeneous in nature. They have that unity, indivisible, you know, purpose to deal with. But we don't have such. And Nigeria should not even deceive themselves by thinking they will grow like China or India tomorrow, because we have not dealt with the basic things, which is this restructuring. Until we accept this truth and deal with it, then we'll put things in place. You are talking about the federal character thing, which has dealt, you know, maybe with meritocracy and then brought about, you know, mediocrity.
All right. All right, a politician, Uche Azotani, thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts with us on, of course, this region issue in the country. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Right. This is TVC News Hour. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll give you